Hello everybody. Well, I just started this video by saying, well, that was very frustrating because I just talked for 10 minutes straight and the video deleted because I ran out of space on my phone. So, take two. I can maybe fix up some of my little mistakes that I made. Well, anyway, welcome to my video. I'm having a lovely glass of G7 coffee. 3-in-1, and today I'm inside because it is very, very loud outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a lot of wildlife out there. You can hear it, I can hear it anyway. So I've decided to come inside and do this video inside. So this video, everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about the Brisbane Roar versus Melbourne City game that just took place on Friday night. And I just start by saying I thought Brisbane actually didn't play too bad. I kind of felt they tried really hard. They obviously gave it a good go. They didn't really give up in any part of the game. They seemed to keep pushing and doing what they can. But there were a couple of things going against them, and I'm just going to talk about those today because I don't know, maybe one day someone will find these videos and will show someone at the coaching staff, or maybe, I don't know, I'm just talking crap and Incoherent Ramblings is the name of the channel for a reason. So anyway, here we go. All right, so first, a couple of things that I've noticed that I thought Brisbane could have done a lot better. So number one, in the first half, there was a big push for Brisbane Roar to use number 17, C. Armiento, so that's Carlo. And can I just say, Carlo, awesome player, absolutely amazing player. If he plays like the way he did last week, and this week really, Brisbane are going to start winning some games because he is a game winner, no doubt about it. So Carlo, I was really impressed with the way you played, mate. Still, now, the issue is that in the first half, the strategy seemed to be that we're going to cross the ball to you, cross the ball through to Armiento, and hopefully he will then be able to progress the ball and then pass it into the center. But what I feel happened is that Melbourne City, I believe, had done their homework and watched last week's game, and they would have noticed, because last week he was on fire. He was amazing. And because of the way that he played last week, as soon as he got the ball this week, even though he's sort of like I wouldn't call him a defensive midfielder. He's sort of like a stock midfielder that's looking to attack, I guess is how I would sort of place Carlo. As soon as he got the ball, he got shut down. And, you know, it's going to be very difficult for him to individually be the person responsible for taking up the ball. And I think Melbourne City did really well to just cut him down every time. Now, Armiento is kind of like, I feel Carlo's a slightly smaller sort of fella from what the people that were on him throughout the game were always a little bit bigger, and he got manhandled out of a lot of the ball a lot of times, and that's going to happen. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway because there was a whole bunch of other inherent little problems that the Roar had to address. So even if Armiento had a much better game, I still feel that Brisbane would have probably lost the game. But yeah, so that strategy of leaving it to one player to try to progress the ball, I don't think is something that's going to work. A lot more of the Brisbane Roar players have to stand up for that ball to be progressed a little bit better. So that was number one. Anyway, well done, Armiento. Awesome game. Someone who I felt didn't have such a good game, and maybe something to think about for the Roar, was Josh O'Shea. So, is it Josh? Jay. No, Josh. Jay. Sorry, Jay. Jay O'Shea. Now, Jay had a pretty good defensive game. I was watching him a few times. And that in itself was a problem. All right. So I'm looking at the way that the way that the Roar is placed for their formation here, and you've got Charlie Austin out the front, and then you've got Jay O'Shea just behind him, and then you've got 4-4. So you've got a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-5-1 type of a formation. And I feel that knowing where Jay probably should have been, he was forced to defend a lot more than what he should have. And I feel that maybe, especially when Melbourne went down, well, in two cases. So it was 2-0 first half, 2-0. Melbourne City scored twice. As soon as you're down 2-0, it's make or break, baby. Like everyone is pushing forward, trying to get the goals back, being a bit more aggressive, pushing, attacking. And kind of, if they get through, they get through. But you can't sit there at 2-0 and continue to play defensively. And I think that's what the Raw were doing a lot in the game. Secondly, in the second half, Melbourne City lost that player. They were down to 10, but the formation remained. So Jay O'Shea continued to stay very defensive. And a lot of times he was almost like a sweeper. And I'm like, why is he there? When on the formation, he is supposed to be pushing up. So I guess the inherent issue there for the Raw is that they weren't playing, they weren't adapting to whatever was happening at the particular time. So they didn't adapt to the situation. They kept playing the defensive sort of game. And it's, and I have to say, like, Melbourne City, an awesome team, very, very polished performance, even with the man down. But if you're going to be playing against a team with a man down, you have to change your formation. You have to be a lot more aggressive. So here's what I would have done. Charlie Austin, keep him at the front, keep him in the box, keep him at that lovely, at that front line attack, and leave him there. Just leave him there because you need that. You need that pressure on the defenders. I would have then said for Jay to start pressing forward as well, and then let the rest of the team figure out the stuff behind. You needed those two people up because remember, Melbourne's down a player. They're going to have to put back a player, and then obviously you're going to be creating that pressure for them to defend against. Excuse me. And then what I would have done is number 8, which is Riku. So Riku, I feel, is a key player for the Raw. They've got him back for this season, for first half anyway, I think. So I would have put Riku in that sort of midfielder, and Riku kind of plays a little bit wide most of the time. I would have put him a little bit more towards the center channel to feed the ball to the other two, or get him to start just crossing it in. So as awesome as Riku is, and I feel like he's the best player for the Raw at the moment. I feel he's just a slight step above everyone with his speed, the way he carries the ball, and footwork. Very good player. I do find he does still tend to play defensively. So when he gets the ball, sometimes he's looking to go forward, but a lot of times he's just looking to slow up the play, and he's happy to just play it back. And I find that that's it's not going to help the Raw win games when you've got like a midfielder, sort of a attacking type of midfielder with awesome skills, who's not feeding the ball to the forwards. So some people, so Riku, Trevin, Kai, is it Kai? Yep, so Kai as well. Okay, need to be feeding that ball forward at all costs, especially when the opposition's a man down. All right, so that's something that I think the Raw need to sort of work on. Is I don't know who what's the captain's role. So who is the captain? Who's the captain? Is it Jay O'Shea? No. Captain is Aldred, right? So Tom Aldred. So I think Tom needs to be sitting in that back line and saying, all right, well, we need to change things up. And he needs to take that leadership and get his team to start pushing forward. All right, that's one way to do it. Or the coaching staff can take over and really hammer home that there needs to be more attack. Brisbane, on the whole, like I said before, I think they played well, but that the defensive mentality needed to change for a better result, if not a win, especially with Melbourne losing that player in the second half. All right, so in a nutshell, don't rely on one person to take the ball up. Don't rely on Armiento, as good as a week he had the previous week. That's number one. So make sure that you're employing strategies that mix things up a bit. Number 2, make sure that you are responding to the game. So if you're 2-0 down, if the other team loses a player, you've got to change your strategy. You can't keep doing the same thing that you started with. Right? That's the game's not going your way. You've got to change it up. And and it doesn't matter. You've lost. You've lost. That's just how it is. And number 3, your midfielders, especially Riku, need to have a little bit of a different headspace around feeding the ball over to the forwards a little bit more, rather than just playing defensively. And I think those 3 things would be enough to focus on for the next game. So I'm actually really looking forward to the next game. I'm hoping that Brisbane do play a little bit more attacking style, and especially if they're a goal or 2 down, that they really start pressing a little bit more. I feel Charlie Austin he's gonna score goals. He definitely will score goals very soon. He is positions himself well. You can see that the headspace is there for obviously being a good striker and shooting goals. But he needs the ball, and Brisbane need to feed it to him. All right, that's about it in terms of the analysis. Incoherent ramblings, that's what I do here. If you would like to make any comments, if you agree, disagree, please write it below. And we can have a bit of a chat about the Brisbane Roar, and hopefully what we can, hopefully turn a season into a real positive one. Anyway, that's it, everyone. Thank you. Bye.